Hello and welcome to free Excel tutorial videos. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can record a macro to fix a problem that you might have with imported text file. Okay, there may be times when you need to import data from a text file, and sometimes you may have to face a problem like this. Okay, so you can see here in this spreadsheet, we have the header is in 2 rows, but what we want is to have them in only 1 row. Okay, we want them only in 1 row, but you can see now they are in 2 rows. Also, you can see here there is a blank row over here, and I want to eliminate them. Okay, so to handle this issue, we are going to record a macro. Okay, we will be making a macro that combine multiple steps of action into make it into one step. Okay, and then when your macro is complete, you can activate the macro by using a assigned keyboard shortcut or use a button that you can click from somewhere in the workbook. Okay, but before we start, you need to ensure that you have the developer tab up here in your Microsoft Excel. Okay, you can be using any version, 2010 version or 2007 version, but you need to have the developer tab up here. Okay, so now before we start, let's plan this out. Okay, what we're going to do in a macro is we are going to come over to this cell over here, description. Okay, and what we want to do is we're going to cut this cell and paste it here, cut this cell, paste it here, cut this cell, paste it here. Okay, and when that is done, we will have 2 blank rows over here. So we're going to delete the rows like this. We're going to delete them, and then we're going to come back to the cell where the macro is ready for the next round. Okay, so before you record a macro, I recommend you prepare a backup for your data. Okay, I have done so in the same workbook but in a different worksheet. Okay, so now let's begin. Okay, we want to come up here to the developer tab and come up here to the top left corner and we want to record the macro. But before we record the macro, we have to come over here to the code and select on this use relative reference. Okay, once it is highlighted, you can see that this is on, and now we are ready. Okay, so now let's start record the macro. Let's click on record macro. But before we do that, let's select the cell which we want to start, which is this cell over here. Okay, and let's start record macro, and we're going to name the macro. Let's name it as convert, and the keyboard shortcut that I want to assign is, let's use, I'm going to hold on to the shift and I'm going to use Control Shift A. Okay, this so that I will not avoid any overriding any keyboard shortcut, the existing keyboard shortcut that comes in Excel. Okay, so let's click OK. So now we are recording the macro. So now we are already in this cell, so we can begin by Control X, cut, come up here and paste, Control V, and repeat the same thing for these two. Control X, Control V, Control X, Control V. Okay, so next is we have the 2 rows. So we're going to come over here to the side and select both rows, and we're going to delete them. So the fastest way and easiest way, I think, is to right click and delete the row. Okay, and now we have to come back to the correct cell, which is this one. Okay, so that we can repeat this macro for the next line. Okay, so at this moment I'm going to stop recording the macro. Okay, and the macro is now done. Okay, so if you come over here, macros, you can see that we have the macro over here, and if you click run, you can see that the macro has made this line into these two lines into one line. So let's come here again. Let's try the keyboard shortcut. Okay, Control Shift A. Okay, and then again and again and again. Okay, so great, our macro is running. All right, so now I want to show you how you can create a button for your macro. So at the developer tab over here, come over here to insert, click the arrow to get a drop down menu, and we want to select button. Okay, once you do this, you have this black crosshair pin for your mouse, and the first thing that we need to do is to draw the button. Okay, let's drag it and get a box. Okay, and here we have to select, we have to assign the button to the macro, which is the one that we just created, and click OK. Okay, and then I'm going to edit the text inside here. Right click and edit. Let's name it as convert. Okay, click outside and your button is ready. So let's test it out. Let's come back here to the cell over here. Remember, we select the cell and press convert, 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 convert. Okay, so now everything is done. Okay, so that is how you can record a macro in Excel to fix problems with an imported text file that you might have. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you liked the video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.